So I'm walking into the gym auditorium, whatever we call it now, here at the church, and I thought maybe it would just give you a little bit of an idea of how we do things for online church now. So we're getting ready tonight and tomorrow night to do another round of worship recording. So I'm just here getting some things set up. Right, bud? Got my assistant here. So yeah, I'll just show you around a little bit. So yeah, we basically have turned this space into like kind of a broadcast studio instead of a gym or a worship space now. And we've got sort of 3 different stations set up. And let me show you what they look like. So over here we have, I guess what you would call a psych wall. And this is just a plain gray background that's normally lit up and covered with cameras. And this is what we use most Sundays for our preaching time. So somebody might be in here, and then the shot would look something like this, but lit a little better and not shot on a phone. We have another studio space, and this one we regularly use for Kidsville Plus midweek, some of our announcement stuff. So we have a light grid set up here. So we just make the entire gym dark and then dim those lights up a little bit and blur them out in the background, and then light the subjects with these guys here, and it turns out looking real good. What do you think? So as you know, if you've been with us for a while, we have opted for a pre-recorded experience on Sundays instead of going live, like a Facebook Live or YouTube Live or live stream of some kind. And there's a bunch of reasons for that, and I think both have certainly their upsides. But we chose to do this to kind of lean into the idea that this is a different thing. It's not just a recreation of what we would normally do on a Sunday. We can't do that right now, and we miss it, and we're sad about it, and that's okay, but we're gonna lean into what this new thing is. So the pre-recorded thing gives us some time to be pretty strategic with our planning, and also to really have some control over the quality of the end result, which we've been happy with and we hope has been a positive experience for you as well. So that means we're here on a kind of a broken up schedule as a worship team for usually over a couple of evenings, where we spend having planned out a bunch of the worship sets, and then we record them audio and video in here, and then edit them from there, break them up into our sets and our services, and share them with you online. So this is the space we do that in. So we have our normal stage set up. We just kind of have arranged the band a little bit differently, both so that we can have some control over some of the bleed from the microphones, but also so we can make sure we do the right thing as far as social distancing goes. So we've got our drum kit baffled out over here with these funny clear circles that are called shy baffles that we use to knock down some of the sound coming off of particularly the cymbals. And we got another one to try to protect this microphone from getting too much of the drum sound in it. Gotcha. So once it's time to actually start tracking, we're gonna have some of those lights that you see in the background that we're using for the other spaces, and a few more set up here to light the band and the worship leaders as well as we can, and it'll be 100% dark in the rest of the room so we can control the lighting as well. So I'll hopefully be able to show you what that looks like a little bit behind the scenes tonight when we get at it. So for lead vocal, for typically my vocal, we are tracking through this SM7B, which is the popular choice these days. And for auxiliary vocals, we are running this Shure KSM9, which has served us well thus far. And on drums, we're running Sennheiser 609s on the toms, a good old 57 on the snare. We have a matched pair of Rode NT5s as overheads. And I think we have a 91 inside the kick drum as well. Pretty dirt simple. It works for us. Bass, we are running a direct signal through this Sans amp, which keeps it pretty simple. And for electric guitar, we will have some pedals and effects that will show up tonight, but mostly instead of an amp, we're running this Kemper stage that profiles an amp for us and helps us keep stage volume to a minimum. So that's the nice thing about how we are tracking some of this stuff through the Kemper profiler, running direct through the Sans amp, direct signal from stereo signal from the keyboard. Basically, acoustic guitar, vocals, and the drums are the only things that are actually producing any sound. So it helps us sort of reduce the bleed as much as possible between all the different voices that are happening, and keeps it as clean as possible. And we run that way live most Sundays anyway. In-ear monitors, no wedges on stage, and as many direct signals as we can get without compromising too much as far as sound quality goes. We'll run actual guitar amps on Sundays. Sometimes we run stereo, we run two, but we have them put away in sort of an isolated box so they can run hot enough to give us a good sound but not overwhelm front of house. So that's one of the advantages of doing things this way, is that we can keep our stage volume and our mic bleed down as much as we possibly can. And as I say, we run in-ear monitors for everybody. We've been using these Sennheiser units for a while now. I like them because they run on AA batteries and it costs a lot less in our battery budget, and they are a pretty small, pretty light pack to wear. And just for me personally, on a personal shout out note, I have been using Jerry Harvey JH Audio in-ears for a little while now, and I love these things. These guys make a fantastic product, and they've been my favorite molded in-ears that I have had so far. I've had a couple different pairs, and they say my name, so that's important. For those of you who've always wondered about this old piano that we use, you probably have figured it out by now, but it's not actually an old piano. It's a trick, isn't it, buddy? But it looks good. So here we are, sort of backstage, I guess. This is where we're kind of controlling all of the audio portion of the recording. So this is our normal front of house desk from a regular Sunday morning that we've got hidden in the corner next to the train, obviously. So everything is routed kind of like it normally would be on a Sunday morning through our front of house desk here. So this is how we monitor ourselves when the band is playing. So through our in-ear system, everything comes through this desk and back out to our ears, just like it would on a normal Sunday morning. But from there, we're sending everything out of the desk into these two Focusrite 1820 units. So they both have 8 preamps in them, so we have a total of 16 channels there. We're also running an Apollo Twin X for a couple of channels, mostly vocals for those two, and they all end up in Logic here, where we track everything individually, right? Mm-hmm. So once we're done recording everything and it's all tracked here onto this hard drive, we take the video footage, and Mark Moore will take most of that and begin editing all of the camera angles together. And Ron Scott has been sort of spearheading our audio. So he'll take those audio files home and do any editing and cleaning up that needs to be done on those. And then those guys will reconvene and put the audio with the video, and hopefully it comes out looking like what you normally will see on a Sunday morning these days. So that's kind of the process behind the scenes, and we'll show you a little bit more tonight once everybody's here and we're actually in the throes of doing some recording, so you can get a look at how that looks when it's in process. And James, and they're planning out their shoot for tonight. What are you going to try to do?
We're going to make everybody beautiful.
Well, that's a tall order.
So we are going to do 2 takes. So the band runs through each song 2 times. Usually pretty polished. They might do a practice run before that. And then we set up 3 cameras and then shoot it from 3 different angles and then repeat after we do it again. And then move on to the next song. Canon XC15, we shoot that in 4K so I can punch it in and out, and that is our wide shot, and then it's going to be a solo primary shot on Jeff, which is you, a Canon C100 Mark II, and then a Canon C300 Mark I.
James, you're going to shoot on iPhone, I assume?
Yeah.
Got it.
Just in portrait.
In portrait the whole time.
Lighting is a mixture of some of our current stuff, so we've got a bunch of conventional fixtures up that we repointed and used. We didn't do it the first time. We used a little black light. So we use them now, and then we have a couple LED fixtures and then a couple other conventionals that we kind of pepper around. And then I like to light things, kind of make it look as practical as possible. So
we're using some bare bulbs for just ambient kind of effect lighting.
So the whole idea is we try to make it seem like it's just a general lit stage and the bulbs are casting a bunch of the light, but that's not actually the case.
There's so much of this that you have to do that you have to work extra hard to make it look like it's not doing anything extra, like audio and video.
That's the key.
All right, so we're back. It's the evening and we're gonna do some recording, so let's go in and have a look at what it looks like now. Hi guys.
Oh,
I'm filming a behind the scenes. Tell us about the snacks.
it's a lot of eating.
Nothing's wrong at all.
Uh-oh.
No.
So we're working on getting our patch list working and all of our channels lit up in the spots that they're supposed to be. And there's nothing Ron likes more than being in a behind the scenes video while he's trying to figure stuff out. All right, so we've run through a sound check. Everybody's ears feel pretty good. We're gonna start running through some songs, see what happens. The wind is moving, but I'm standing still. A life of pages waiting to be filled. This is what technical difficulties looks like. It's always something. So we thought we were ready to go. Technology had other ideas, and so we wait.
Cameras.
Here we go.